will talk about something that I think has been on the forefront of many spiritual communities and groups. And I think in many of the conversations that we have, we tend to put ourselves in one camp. Are we spiritual, or do we consider ourselves religious? And in today's discussion, I'm going to bring a little bit different perspective to show how, in actuality, every single one of us is both spiritual and every single one of us is also religious. So open your mind and open your heart just to see if we can come into the space together and entertain another way of looking at this topic. So just by us being here, just by us being in these physical bodies and the realization that we're spirit, that in and of itself makes us spiritual. The other thing is, every single one of us, I have not met a single human being yet, we all share in the same desire to experience joy, to experience bliss, to experience love, to be free from pain, to be free from suffering. And in this way, we are all spiritual beings. Now, many times we use these classifications and definitions. We may define ourselves or identify ourselves as being spiritual, or identify and call ourselves religious, but we need to go into and see what the root is behind the definitions and how they're actually being expressed and how they're being lived. One can call many people, they may call themselves atheist or agnostic, but in actuality, when you witness their life, you see that they have a depth of love. They are embodiment of love. They are connected. What they are doing in their life shows a depth of the spirit, but for whatever reason, their definition may not be your definition of what spiritual is. Now, on the other hand, what is religion? Yes, it can be something very organized. It can be particular rituals that happen in certain times. Yes, sometimes they have doctrines, but our religion is more of what we choose to do. It is our lifestyle, our way of being. It shows what is really in our heart. What we choose to do, that shows our state of being. It shows the state of the heart. And both of these points are fundamental in spiritual life and religious life. So every single one of us is both spiritual and we are religious. Now, I want to say that our religion is determined by our own choice. If it's not by our own choice, then that's coercion. So that's something totally different. Like, many of us may have grown up in a certain situation. If you're forced to be doing something, then that's not something that you do of free will. So we can call ourselves Hindu, we can call ourselves Christian, we can say, I'm not any religion, I practice yoga. But I will even say that yoga, you could actually classify yoga as a religion, because if you're a yogi, you meditate. So you don't just talk about meditation, you don't just profess to be a yogi, you don't just profess all of the wonderful benefits of meditation, you actually meditate. You actually, whatever your other practices are, for me personally, you could say at the rising of the sun, doing Surya Namaskar, that is your religion, that is your daily practice. You could be spiritual. Your religion, maybe it's walking in the park, maybe it's sitting in nature, maybe it's meditation. So this is how we need to be more inclusive in our understanding that all of us are both spiritual and all of us are also religious, and that and we can see the importance in realizing this is that by reflecting on this, the spirit aspect of us is that inner relationship that we have with the self. But through our religion, through our religious practice, through our lifestyle, through our actions, through our choices, we can see externally, am I in alignment with who I profess? Am I in alignment with what I'm speaking, that my beliefs are, that I'm professing to know? Is that actually what I am doing? Is that who I'm actually being as I'm moving through my life? So this is just a different perspective to hopefully unify these 2 points that oftentimes tend to be seem very on different polar opposites or different extremes. That actuality, they overlap and they actually fit together quite nicely. But we need to look beyond just the definition, because every single one of us, even in our religion, a Hindu is not going to have, 2 people are not going to have the exact same practices. 2 Christians, no matter what church, they can be in the exact same church, but no 2 Christians is going to have the exact same practices. So this is, and whether you're religious or you call yourself spiritual, dogma is in both. So dogma is not just in religion, but when we decide that we're better than somebody else that has a formal practice, then we're actually creating a dogma. We're trying to bring somebody over into our particular belief system, but spirituality is total freedom to trust that every single one of us, we all know what is inherently best for our own well-being. And our spiritual and religious practices are meant to bring us into greater freedom, into greater bliss. Because if that is not happening, then what is the point? Namaste.